Should you back Deep Regrets? Yes, and it's a game that I'm backing too. I'm going to tell you exactly why this is a game you should be backing, but before I do, hi there, my name is Sam, this is Should You Back It, and I'm here to help you crowdfund with confidence. Deep Regrets is a strategic horror fishing game for 1 to 5 players. It takes about 30 minutes per player to play, and the base game will currently set you back about £40 with an estimated delivery date of March 2025. In this game, you are anglers who are embarking on a journey on the seas to decide what to eat, what to sell, what to mount as trophies, and how many regrets you're willing to carry as you push yourself too far and spiral towards madness and victory at sea, or a really untimely end to your career. Now, before I go any further, I should state, if it isn't already obvious, that I got my hands on a prototype for this game, and the fact that I've been able to play this a number of times now has not only greatly informed my decision on whether you should back it due to the fact that I've actually played it, it equally means that there will probably be some insights I have in this video that I wouldn't normally have the opportunity to have. So let's talk about gameplay. In Deep Regrets, you'll play through a working week as one of the 5 colourful anglers moving between sea and port, trying to pull in the most desirable fish and fish-adjacent creatures. You'll need to manage your energy, resources and regrets and push your luck to pull in the best haul possible. And at the end of the game, you'll score the fish you have in hand, the fish you've mounted, and any fish bucks you've acquired. And the player with the most regrets will lose their most valuable fish. On a typical turn, you'll start by rolling your dice, and then more often than not, you'll head out to fish by revealing a card, and then moving your ship by dropping your sinkers to different depths in order to catch them, and then spending some of those dice to a total of the difficulty on the card of the fish you're trying to catch. On the board here, you have 3 different depths. As you go deeper, the more difficult, and in most cases, the more cursed looking the fish become. You can equally go to port, where you'll be able to purchase equipment and dice, and these help you out on the seas, and you can sell fish in order to fund those purchases, and you can mount some of your prized fish for even more points at the end of the game. At every turn though, you're going to be accruing regrets. In-game, as opposed to real life, but you never know. You'll accrue regrets sometimes when a fish is revealed, other times when you catch or eat the fish, or even when you sell them you'll get regrets. The amount of regrets you have plays into your madness, and your madness directly affects how many dice you can have in your pool and how much you can sell certain fish for. At the end of the work week, you'll count up how many regret points you have, and you'll deduct that value from your overall points, and whoever has the most points wins. Now, that's a very brief and abridged look at this game. Normally this channel isn't really about the nitty-gritty gameplay details. If you want to know more, you can check out the official how to play video linked in the video description or in the top right. I've played a full 5-player game of Deep Regrets, and on the first few work days it felt like you just didn't have enough actions to do what you wanted to do. As the week progressed though, each round got longer and longer as a lot of us had returned to port, we'd bought equipment or we'd acquired more dice. There's a real importance in this game on getting equipment in order to maximize your odds of catching some really useful fish, and so managing how and when to go to port and when to be at sea is incredibly important. There equally is a solo mode to the game where you embark on a journey to survey as many fish as you can. I've actually recorded a solo gameplay, and you can watch it by clicking in the link in the video description or up in the top right. But before I go too deep on gameplay, and equally before I give my thoughts on why you should back this, let's do a risk assessment on the game. See, whenever we back something on Kickstarter or any crowdfunding platform for that matter, it's always important to do some research on the company to see how their past projects went, to see how they handled everything, just to get a sense of what our experience could be as a backer. This is Judson Cohen's 3rd Kickstarter campaign and his 2nd game, with Hideous Abomination 1st and 2nd edition being the 1st and 2nd campaigns that he's ran. Now, I've taken a look through his past campaigns, and the vast majority of comments are positive. Any comments that do communicate issues or problems have received speedy responses from Judson, which is great to see. On Deep Regrets, there's a lot that Judson has done to negate risks and provide value to the backer. He's using a reputable manufacturer with Watts Games, which he's used for his previous games as well, so there's a pre-existing relationship there. He's using regional distribution partners in order to try and keep shipping costs down, some of which he's actually confirmed during the campaign as backers requested them, which is just a really nice thing to see. He's equally in contact with or confirmed localization partners in order to make the game more accessible. There's just a high degree of communication, which goes a long way to lowering possible concerns as a backer, as you feel like if you raise something, it actually will be addressed by the creator. There equally isn't a ton of stretch goal bloat with this game. It's very much what you're seeing is what you'll get. And for me, and this is rare, I'd give this game a green rating when it comes to the risk assessment. The quality of communication, the level of planning that seems to have gone into manufacturing and distribution, the streamlined offerings in the pledges all install a confidence that this is a relatively safe project to back, dare I say it. Now obviously anything can happen, but there is nothing about this campaign that instills any level of concern in me. This is a game that looks great, has a lot of character, and is one of the rare occasions where style is actually backed up with substance. For me, it's one of those games where I started to really figure out how to play it when I was about halfway through my first game, and even though it has push your luck mechanics, it's one of those rare occasions where if you just play incredibly safe and take no risks at all, the chances you'll win are pretty much just as good as the person that's pushing the envelope. My gaming group's only concern that they voiced when we played this was the potential that there may be a tactic to winning this game, or a winning strategy. And once that is discovered, it might be hard to stop a min-maxer from winning every time. Now, there is a good degree of randomness in the game, so I don't know how much of a concern that should be, but I thought I would share it just out of the interest of balance, mainly because most of the things I've said about this game have been completely positive. This is a game I've backed because, one, you know I love to try and support smaller and indie creators and their games. Secondly, it looks great. And third, I just really enjoyed the journey of trying to figure out how far to push my angler to get a bigger catch. Now, I ended up coming last in my game, but at the end of the day, it's not about the destination. It's about the regrets we make along the way. As always though, this is just my recommendation, but hopefully you feel a bit more informed. If you have found it helpful, I'd love if you could subscribe. I'm a small channel trying to cover the games I think you're interested in, and your support really does help.